What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, another podcast today of Forest Talk. And yes, so much has been happening today. So I thought, yes, another podcast today. New guest, old guest, blah blah blah. Everyone knows everyone. So, but before we do start, if you've got any questions for myself or the guest, please do in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. If you can, before the stream does, get me to 8.3. That'd be amazing. And as well, hit the like button as well, people. And they would much appreciate it. Before I do that, guys, I've got a new member from Dean Townsend. Dean, thank you very much for being a member. Dean, can you message me or email me, please? Because like I said, if you are a member to the channel, I do appreciate everyone. So please, Dean, if you can, email me or message me on Twitter or Facebook. Right, let me get the guest on. Let me start with the guest. We'll start with the ladies first. Ladies, I'm a Jen. Claire, how you doing, Claire?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm not too bad.
Good.
Bad. Next, not least, we've got here we go, Jack Grealish. Adam playing his Arsenal. How you doing, Adam?
I'm absolutely fabulous, Ben. Just great to be on your show again.
Oh, I've missed you a lot. I prefer you than Dylan.
Here we go. I'm better Arsenal, you know that.
And last but not least, we've got the man who can talk forever. I think he needs his own channel. The man himself, Dave. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, I'm good, Ben. Thank you. If Adam is Jack Grealish, then I'm Tony Grealish of Brighton all those years ago.
Yes.
People in the comments as well.
See you all anyway.
Good. So people in the comments, show some love to everyone. And as well, before we do start, someone's birthday is tomorrow. So people, Claire's birthday tomorrow. Claire, how old are you?
I can't say that.
How old are you? Okay, Claire's 21 years old, people.
That's it.
So people
Happy birthday, Claire.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday for tomorrow.
Everyone in the comments, show some love to Claire and say happy birthday. Right, we're going to start about yesterday's game. I know myself, Claire, and Dave went to the game. If you have not saw my vlog, people, after the stream, go and watch it. I'm going to start with you, Claire. Second pre-season game. What was your thoughts about it?
Yeah, it was a typical pre-season game, wasn't it? It was good, obviously, to get the run out. Good to see the 4 new players. I thought that it definitely proved that we need to get an attacking midfielder in and sort out that situation. But yeah, the big T, I still can't pronounce his name. I thought he didn't have much to do, did he? So you can't really comment on him, nor did Henderson. But I thought the defenders done well once they kind of got more into the game. But no, it was good and I enjoyed it.
What about you, Dave?
Well, I back up what Claire says. I think it was a good exercise for the team, for the squad. Plenty of minutes got into players' legs. Very similar to Friday night. I mean, the result doesn't matter really. It's kind of inconsequential. Although I would say Cookie's header was a piece of athletic improvisation. It was tremendous. So I think just looking at it generally, I think it was a productive. Steve called it a productive evening. I trust in him and I trust his view.
Adam didn't go to the game, so I can't tell Adam because, like I said, he's a part-time fan. So, Adam, yeah,
shocking.
So, people, I am not ignoring Adam about anything. So, don't think I'm being disrespectful because I'm not. Because, like I said, he didn't go to the game, but there's other topics that I do want to tell Adam as well. So, but we're going to talk about yesterday's game to Claire and Dave, but I will get Adam in a minute. Right, Claire. I'll say this to Dave as well, and people in the comments as well. If you did watch the game, what players stood out for you? It could be a player that who everyone's saying that he could be going. Who's good enough? Who's not? People in the comments. Who do you think he is? Claire, what player stood out for you yesterday?
I thought Cafu had a good game. He was all right. I can't. What's number 2? What's his name?
Bianco.
Yeah.
Bianchi,
he looks like he's going to be very good. Who else was there? That youngster. I thought he put himself about a bit.
Number 10, Hammond.
Yeah, Hammond.
Hammond, yeah, good player. Good player. Dave?
I thought, as actually he was on Friday evening, I thought Julian Biancone really stood out. I like the idea. He's kind of.
I like him.
He's kind of buccaneering because he likes to get forward, and it was noticeable in the first half when he was on the field that Forest seemed to want to use him as an outlet a lot. So there were times when like Taiwo would hold the ball up, or it would come back to Jack or Ollie Hammond, and it's almost like their first thought was to get it direction. There were a couple of times where he was dispossessed, had the ball taken off him, and he seemed offended by that, and he was strong to go and get it back. So I like that. Honourable mentions go to Jack. It was nice to see Jack back in the middle. I think he enjoyed that. Ollie Hammond, for a young lad making his way in the game, I thought he did well. I mean, to be honest with you, I looked at both teams actually, because there are two teams playing, and really nobody on either side had a shocker or a real standout. But if I'm picking one, it'd be Julian Biancone.
100%. Adam, have you watched him play, Adam?
I did watch. I managed to watch some bits from the game actually, like watch the highlights, and I thought they were really good. It was like they said, it was kind of similar to the Coventry game in Spain, which Des kindly did your blog for.
Shout out to Des.
Shout out to Dudela, what a legend.
Oh, don't shout out Dudela, man. Against his head now.
But yeah, obviously I did see the bit where they had a great chance towards the end through Lewis Moult, but apart from that, we played really well. The youngsters shone last night. They've shown that they've got a point to prove at the club. They're not gonna stand down from these new signings, and especially Ollie Adam. I'll tell you something. I really like the looks of him, the way he plays, and I'll tell you something. He's got a bright future ahead of him if he carries on.
100%. If people don't know who we're talking about, it's Ollie Hammond. He's a Welsh player. I don't know how old he is. People come. Do you know how old he is?
I think he's 18 or 19, Ben.
He's sorry about
that. I was going to say 17, but
he can play that number 10. Is he ready to cement that number 10 role? We don't know. He could have a good pre-season. So if he does, why not? Because I say Cooper, when it comes to young players, he can get the best out of him. So if Hammond gets a good pre-season behind him, why not? Claire, like I said, Forest brought 6 players in. What players from yesterday's game do you think we need to strengthen?
So definitely midfield. We need the attacking system. But then
after Ryan Yates, if no one knows, Ryan Yates is out for a month now. So
so that's we need to get someone in there. Obviously Johnson wasn't playing yesterday, so it'll be nice to see him and Williams when hopefully that'll be Saturday. I just think it's going to be midfield, and then we just need somebody else up front. Hopefully, maybe Keenan Davis.
And that's what we're going to talk about later on, people. So don't go.
Need somebody else. Definitely need somebody else up there.
What about you, Dave?
To be honest, Claire has said it. I think Claire has said it for the whole fan base, really, in that some kind of creative, a midfield ball player, a sort of a playmaker, if you like, I think is an essential. And we're probably going to bring another hold. I mean, Lewis O'Brien looks. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but Lewis O'Brien looks set. Which, given the sad news about Yatesy, and that is a blow. It's a big blow, Yatesy not being about for a month. I think that'll happen. But I think we're all, as a Forest family, agreed that we need somebody in midfield to sort of dictate the tempo and to create opportunities, provide service, and another forward. And as Claire has said, quite rightly, Keenan, if you're looking for somebody who's keen to play up front for Nottingham Forest in this country that isn't already at Forest, then Keenan Davis is your likely candidate.
Before I get to Adam, I'm just going to go look for the comments. But I said there's so much that can evening about. Right, I'm going to start with Mark. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all good. I hope you're well, Mark. How you doing, Tim? Good evening, everyone. To all your Reds. This is Des. Yo. City Grand Central. Wolves want 30 million for Gibbs-white, and that's another topic that we're going to talk about, Gibbs-white, because I know it was on TalkSport. Everton wants him, but Forest fans, we'll talk that in a minute. So don't go. Another one. This is from Eve. Hello, Dor, Claire, Dave, and Adam. I hope you well.
Hi, Eve.
He's a legend.
That's a brilliant, Eve.
Happy birthday, Claire. All your birthdays coming through, Claire.
Thank you.
Tim says happy birthday to you, Claire, as well from Mark. Happy birthday, Claire, from Mum.
Oh, no.
Shout out to Claire's mum. Even all trickies, happy birthday, Claire. D Chapo, happy birthday, Claire. Everyone's saying happy birthday. People like if you just come on, it's Claire's birthday tomorrow. She's 21 years old. She's not 21 years old. She just want to unveil her age. So people in the comments show some.
As long as my mum doesn't put it in the comments, I'll be all right.
Claire's mum, if you want to, feel free. Right. And there's another topic we're going to talk about today, and I feel bad for people. Thank you, Mark, for the £5. It's a sad day today. My heart sets out for the away membership, but it's a real real car crash online. That is something that we'll talk about at the end of the show. But yeah, it's something that I don't know. I've got an opinion about it, but I'll get the panel about it as well later on. So please, like I said, don't go. We'll talk about that later on. As well, right. We'll talk about the main topic for the. We'll talk about the Huddersfield pair, Taflo and O'Brien. And I'll start with you, Adam. And people in the comments. I know they've been saying 8 million for 10 million for both of them. Do you think we need that kind of player at Forest? Adam, I'll start with you. Do you think we need them, or do you think we can get better than them?
I personally think Harry Toffolo would be a good backup option in defence. I think, for cup games and everything like that. Unless one of our star signings from those positions gets injured, then play him. But I think for me, it'd be a good backup option for the Premier League. But Lewis O'Brien fits the bill now, especially now Yates is injured and he plays in his position. He's a centre midfielder anyway. So, and he's kind of like a box-to-box player as well, as we've seen in the playoff final. So, yeah, I can agree with Steve Cooper if he wants to pursue for those two, absolutely. But Abby Toffolo in particular, it'd be a good backup option, I think, for the team, especially, like I said, if one of those players get injured. So, yeah, I'd be happy with both of them coming in.
What about you, Dave?
Well, Huddersfield's sort of collective valuation of the two of them is around about 12.5 million.
Yeah.
Of which the larger proportion is for Lewis O'Brien. And I think that in the context of sort of pondering over however much to pay for Morgan Gibbs-White or for Keenan or for others, 12 million for two guys who, in my opinion, were amongst. I thought in Toffolo's case, he was the best left back in the league last year in the division, after Jack, of course, and Max Lowe. So I thought Harry Toffolo. I thought Huddersfield would put a bigger price on him, and Lewis O'Brien. I think we all saw the number of times. I mean, we played Huddersfield, I think, 3 times last year. And in every game, he kind of caught the eye with his industry and his passing, and he's got a little terrier's sort of attitude to him. So I think if it is 12 million for the two, and what you have to remember as well is that I think now that Corberan has left Huddersfield, which I'm kind of shocked at really, but obviously there are things going on in the background. I think Toffolo and O'Brien are probably looking at that thinking, well, we would have stayed there for Carlos Corberan, but we're not sure. I mean, it's no slight on Danny Schofield, who's taken over at Huddersfield, but I think those two are going to become keener to leave. But I think for 12 million for the pair of them, Adam is dead right. Toffolo is a good backup to Omar Richards, and Lewis O'Brien is pushing. He could be pushing to start. So I think it'd be good 12 million to spend.
What are you, Claire?
Yeah, same as what Dave and Adam said. Said 12 million for the pair is what we've been spending. That's a bit of a bargain. Would Toffolo be happy to come into play back up? That's another question, isn't it? Because he was a main starter, obviously, for Huddersfield and one of their best players at Wembley. But yeah, you take it. Said we need a lot more players. You need to have 2 for each position. So you definitely take them both.
100%. People in the comments, okay, what do you think about O'Brien, Toffolo? Me personally, Toffolo is a good player. Do you think he's gonna come in and be a first choice? No, because we brought in Omar Richards from Bayern Munich. So me personally, he's more of a backup. O'Brien next to Ryan Yates, I don't know. He's a good player. I'll take them both, but combined total for me personally, 12 million max for both of them. That's my opinion. People like if you disagree with me, put in the comment section below. But yeah, I think right. Next question. People in the comments. Right. So would you, if we do get O'Brien, do you think he's a decent person to play alongside Ryan Yates, or do you think we need one? Or do you think, I know Ryan Yates is out for a month now, who would you if the season starts? Who would you play alongside O'Brien? Let me ask you, Dave.
Well, if he was fit, Yatesy is he's sort of not so much penciled in as biroed in, because Ryan deserves his crack at it, and he works hard, and he's box to box. Lewis O'Brien's similar, so I don't know. And hey, don't rule Jack out. I mean, I watched Jack playing last night. He scuttled back midfield. He put some good work in, Jack. And Jack, Jack's played for Sunderland and Newcastle in the Prem. He knows the lay of the land in there. Jack does. So Jack's not a back number by any stretch. But I like O'Brien, but I still think that we want that guy who's going to open a defence up with a pass. O'Brien and Yatesy and Jack are cracking lads in what they do. They're unselfish. They do a lot of the, they're doing, the unspectacular stuff in midfield, the stuff that, real football people appreciate. But I still think we need a guy who's the guy who's got the key to unlock things.
We're definitely in at number 10. And this is, I think this is the decent, like Dave just said, number 10, we're going to mention Morgan Gibbs-white. He's been linked with Everton, and the topic is he worth 30 million? I know Forest. I personally won't pay 30 million for him, but at the same time, these English players are not cheap. There's a big difference. Now we're a Premier League club. These other clubs, no disrespect, I'm not saying like Wolves are a small club, like they haven't got a history like Forest have, but and Wolves, they've not really bought in no one else, and we're buying everyone. We're buying everyone. So me personally think I'm a big fan of Gibbs-white, but right, you know what? Let me ask you, Adam. Would you pay 30 million for Gibbs-white? People in the comments, get involved.
Absolutely, I think we should, because he's not like he's coming into his late 20s. He's still a young lad. He's still a young player, and he's still got a lot to give. And I've read that he does want to play under Cooper again, and so he obviously knows him from his loan days at Swansea. So I would honestly, sometimes you've got to lay all your cards out on the table. And for me, I think Forest should fork out the money for him. I really do, because I think he could be one of the catalysts that's going to provide us the goals. Is going to provide the service for John.
Adam, let me spin it right. If he was that good, right, why are Wolves not keeping him? If he was that good, this is
I don't know.
And people in the comments as well. Sorry, Adam. Sorry to cut you off. People in the comments, like I said, if he was that so good, why is Wolves not keeping him? Because I know Wolves, they've got a great team. They got Neves. Who else they got? They got Padon. Donker. Exactly. I know they're top players, but when you got someone like Morgan Gibbs-white, 30 million. Like I said, he's an English player. He's not played Premier League football yet. But me personally, I wouldn't. I don't know. Let me sorry, Adam. Carry on, Adam. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think we should. Because I think I look at Rose. I know. I think they're trying to keep on. They're trying to keep Ruben Neves at the club. So that I think they don't know what's going on with Ruben Neves at the minute. I think that's like a pending thing. But But with Gibbs-White, I just feel he's got more years to give. If you pay 30 million and give him a 5-year contract, and if he, I still think he can do it. I think he's got that in him. And like I said, Cooper knows him very well. And you know what our gaffer's like. He can get the best out of so many players. Look what he did with the players last season that weren't his signings. Some of the like for example, Zinchenko. I mean, okay, it was hot and cold, but he's nowhere near as good as Morgan Gibbs-White. In all due respect to him, I like him, but he's nowhere near as good as Gibbs-White. And look what Cooper managed to do with him last season, even though it was hot and cold. He did a fairly good job for him. And if he could do that for Zinchenko, God, can you imagine what he's going to do for Gibbs-White, especially when he knows him from Swansea already?
People in the comments, what do you think? Would you pay 30 million? I'm just going to go through the comments before I get to Claire as well. There's quite a lot. I'm going to go for as well. This is from Forest. And how you doing, Forest? And Morgan White is worth how much Steve Cooper they may say he's worth. Simple, 100%. This is from Pinford. I would rather bid 30 million for James Garner. Ooh, 30 million for James Garner. Sorry, I disagree with that. I will not pay 30 million. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'm going to swear this one. This is from Tim. Not a chance. 30 million, 20 million tops as well. Sure, I saw he sent me a super chat somewhere. Dropping my entertainment for free in this part. Thank you for the £2, Andrew. I think Andrew, he loves you, Dave. I've seen a comment. He loves you, Dave. So yeah,
in biblical sense, Ben.
Raz, Adam disagree. Raz, what do you disagree with Adam? What do you disagree on? I don't know. What bit do you disagree? This is the namesake. Dylan Astle, the number one Astle. Morgan Gibbs-White is worth a crack. He's young and hungry. He is hungry. That's what I want. Forest. I want a young and hungry player at Forest because I said on my podcast 2 days ago, I don't want players like. Should I throw the players under the bus? Harry Arter, costing so much money, so much wages, and they can't get in the side. So, yeah, these kind of players I want young and hungry. And Gibbs-White, does he fit that bill? He does. For 30 million for him.
And can I say this, Ben? Can I throw another player under the bus? And we can do a lot better than him. Nuno da Costa.
Yeah, that's another player. He was awful. I saw a coach game and he was awful again. Awful. And awful. Right, before I get clear, I got a new member. Thank you, Penford, for being a member to my channel. If you can, email me if you can, or Twitter or Instagram. So I appreciate you being a member. And if you want to be a member to the channel, people, all you do, the dollar signs at the bottom, and click member. It's £2.99 a month, and it helps me a lot with the channel. And as you know, well, I hope all fans do know we are Premier League. So I thought I'd get it out there because, as you know, me, Claire, Dave, and Adam will be going to the Premier League as well to go all the games. So people, if you do want to support my channel, please do. And as well, people, if you do want to sponsor one of my vlogs as well, email me and I'll get your company as well. Claire, Morgan Gibbs-White, would you pay 30 million for him? Yes or no?
I'm split. I think he fits the Murphy and the Cooper thing, doesn't he? Being young, he's hungry, he wants to prove himself in the Premiership. We need somebody desperately in that position. When I saw him play against Sheffield, I thought he was a standout player. I really thought he was something. Would love to see him at Forest, but 30 million, it's a lot of money, isn't it? Probably maybe 25 tops. That's like limit.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Gibbs-White.
Yeah. But then he's got the connection with Cooper. He wants to play under Cooper, so that helps. So you've got to weigh it out. If Murphy and Cooper think that he's worth 30 million, then they know what they're doing, don't they? So 100%. We support that. But
I don't know. I like him.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. 30 million. And as a Forest fan, I think all Forest fans will say we're not used to spending big money. How much have we spent? 60 million.
Was our record's like 17 and a half at the moment, so 30 million that's a massive gap from that record, isn't it? It's
yes. So it's like I said, it's amazing. We're spending so much money. I'm thinking of getting gibbs-white for 30 million. Mad. People, there's 177 people in. If you can do a massive favor for me, hit the like button if you can. Get me to 100 likes before the show does. If you can as well, if you are new, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 8.3 subscribe by the end of the stream. So if you can, all you do is hit the red button. It's completely free. I'm 60 away from 8.3. So please do hit the subscribe button. And like I said, the new journey, my DoreOnTour. Like I said, you'll see my mug face, you'll see Dave's mug face, you'll see Claire's face, and you'll see Jack Grealish's face, and you'll see the usual, and you'll see the usual lot. So people, if you do,
Cookie's a big fan, Adam.
you might see the real one as well. Okay, I might get a picture of him for your door.
So people, like I said, people, if you can hit the subscribe button, it helps me a lot. Right. Next up, and another topic we're going to talk about, and we always mention, like I said, we talk about Taiwo Awoniyi, and I think it's only 2 games in, and we can't judge on him yet. And he's done well. He did some good touches yesterday. I'm going to ask you, Dave, how do you think he played yesterday in the first half?
I thought he played better last night than he did on Friday. But the whole point of these games is for unfamiliar people who've come from different parts of the world and different locations, who've never been buddies before, to get to know one another. And I thought, Taiwo was okay on Friday night in a pretty, other than to get minutes in the legs, pretty meaningless game. I thought he was better last night. I thought some of his hold-up play was quite good. But it's going to take him some time. And you know, this is a human being we're talking about who's come to a new country. He's into a new environment. All of us, when we go to a new location, whoever we are, it takes us time to bed in and to get to know the people around us. And it's going to take Taiwo some time. And I think, you know, he's got another 5 pre-season games to go. But I thought generally he looked quite useful. I mean, I saw him signing autographs outside of Borelli Stadium last night. And he's a big lad, I'll tell you.
He's a big lad.
I was kind of looking up at him. He's like one of them great redwood trees in Kelvin. He's a really big lad. The only thing about Taiwo is, because of his size, people are just going to expect explosive action all the time. Now, you know, he needs to kind of feel his way in. And maybe I'm being a bit too sympathetic to him, but that's me. I'm just soft-hearted, I guess. But I thought he did okay. But when the rough and tumble of the Premier League comes and it starts with Newcastle and then it's going to be West Ham and then it's going to be Everton and wherever, he's going to have to kind of go up a level, I think. But you know, the signs are promising. But really, again, in the 2 games, you know, it's just that people are feeling their way in, and you know, Steve knows that, and Steve's allowing them sort of room to breathe and to get bedded in. You know.
Dave, I think you missed. We got some easy clubs after that. We got Spurs and Man City as well. So I just put 2 easy clubs.
Light
City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we got them afterwards. So yeah, they're nothing clubs because they've not won the Champions League. Just for get it out there. Before I can tell. I'm gonna get to Claire before I got another super chat. Forest Dan, this guy's a legend. No, Ben, you should be saying we are Premier League baby. We are Premier League, baby, just for you, Forest Dan. But yeah. Claire, listen. We got Taiwo Awoniyi. How do you think he played yesterday?
Yeah, he done all right. He said it's all about getting your match fitness, him gelling with the players, getting to know the team. You can't judge on 2 performances, can you? I've already read on Twitter and Facebook people like, oh no, we need to get this person in, that person in. He doesn't look like he's worth 70 million. But give the guy a chance. Do you know what I mean? It's pre-season. They've just come back from holidays. He's just started a new club. Like, give him a chance.
Right, before I completely forgot, and as far as fans know, Claire and Dave will know, it's been on social media all day. This channel was sponsored by Doggy Daycare. As if you know, it was I know people. Give a shout out to Doggy Daycare. They might sponsor me. I hope if you are watching it, please sponsor me.
Ben. Yeah. I spoke to somebody who worked at Burton Albion last night. He was up on the gantry. He's a good friend of my dad's, actually. He's the guy who does the music and the scoreboard. Because I rang him up and said, was it you that was sort of giving doggy daycare a big up, every time there was a substitution made? He said he wasn't, but he stood next to the guy who was doing it. Apparently the guy, once he realised that the Forest fans had like hooked onto it, the guy was sort of like egging it on. But the rest of things, Steve Cooper made 8 substitutions at one go, which was brilliant. But the one exclusive I've got is he also told me that Burton Albion sponsor extra time and timing it on for stoppages at the Pirelli Stadium, and apparently that and this is what this guy said to me. He said that extra time, injury time, is sponsored by a flock of sheep. So Burton Albion are obviously kind of very zoology based, maybe Forest, I said to Claire beforehand, maybe Forest could sponsor some squirrels or something like that. I don't know.
Squirrels.
It would be funny if I know we haven't got a sponsor. Our sponsor was Doggy Daycare. Wouldn't that be funny? That would be hilarious. But we don't want that. We don't want that. Right. Sorry, Claire. Right. We're going to talk about. I know the link. It keeps come go. I'm going to get the panel as well. But I'm going to ask Adam first. Davis. The link keeps coming. I'll say my opinion later. I'll get the panel's opinion about it. People in the comments, do you want Kieran Davis back? Because he wants to come back to Forest, but the most important thing, you don't fall in love with a lone player. We hear about Spence. He's not joined Spurs yet. We see Garner can't get injured at Man U. Davis wants to come to Forest. Adam, Davis, yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Simply because I still think he's got a point to prove in the Premier League. Now, he took a step down to the Championship and got us some vital goals. And I think now, if he's going to stay at Villa, I just don't think he's going to get any regular games with the likes of Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings and all those sort of players. For me, he's got to come here. If he loves it here, just come back here and just make that bid for him, because I'll tell you this something, it's going to make his world, honestly. He'll make his day, and I'll tell you this right now, he will. Him up front with Awoniyi or Jono, it's just going to be immense. And obviously, him and Jono up front, it's been proven already that they're lethal up front. I'm not saying Jono. I'm taking nothing away from Surridge, but Jono and Surridge have been playing really well up front. But when Jono and Davis are up front, you've got a big lad like Keenan Davis up front with Jono with that pace. It's lethal, absolutely lethal.
Yeah, but right. Let me say something right. You mentioned Sturridge.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forget his name wrong. When Davis was injured, he played well for Forest.
Yes. Yeah.
Really well. So if we bring, I'm trying to say something right. If we bring him back, that's going to take Sturridge as a third choice, because as a third choice behind Awoniyi, Davis. So, would you want Sturridge as a third choice, as a number 10? No, well, okay, class as number 11, whatever you want to call it. But
it's a difficult one. If you're bringing Keenan Davis, yes, he probably will fall down to the third choice. But the thing is, when it comes to the Premier League, you've got to have strength in numbers in all different departments, in all different positions. And if it comes to if Surridge is going to work hard, which I know he does, because that's what I love about him. He always means business. That striker does, that bloke. He always means business. And if it comes to a point where Keenan Davis stops dropping in form, then that's Surridge's chance. And if he's working hard and he gets those goals, then Keenan Davis will be the third choice. So you want that competition, especially in the Premier League. You can't just rely on one or two strikers just in case one of them gets injured. Because if they do, you've shot it basically. You don't want to. You don't want to be. We don't want to be like Norwich City, relying on Timo Pukki. You know what I mean? So I see where you're coming from, Ben, with the regards to Surridge being dropped down as a third option, which I totally get. But it depends on if Keenan Davis does perform well, or even Taiwo Awoniyi, it's about having that competition in those positions, and you want that at the club. And sometimes you want to give Cooper that selection headache, especially at the top level, because you need all that, and it will give us that grit and gives us that base to start on, and who knows, we could progress from there, really.
Like, before I get David clear, like I said, for me personally, I said if I think it would be so sad on Sam Sturridge, because he come into Forest, he was second fiddle to Davis. He come in when Davis got injured, and he did fantastic well for us. Fantastic well. He scored some vital goals in the FA Cup. He scored a hat-trick against Swansea. Give him a chance. And I know that we're in the Premier League, but you've got to give the guy a chance. And I think Cooper can still get so much out of him. He's still a young player. People doesn't recognize he's still young, and Cooper can get the best out of young players. And I still feel Sam Sturridge can give us the best. Well, people in the comments, what do you think? Before I get Dave's opinion about it, I'm going to go through the comments as well. Dean says, yes, get Davis home. Dean Chapper says, Davis 100%. Fracing Well says, definitely yes. Scott, NFC 1865 says, I'm 50-50. Okay. Stefan says, yes, Davis.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Okay. Katie will be a great backup. 6 million. Yeah, I won't pay 15 million for us. 15 million from there's not a chance. Yes, bring back Keenan. Mark says yes, but no more than 7 million. You're right. Yes, Bryce. Yeah, but that's it. People like, I don't know, 50-50 as well. Dave, what do you think, Dave? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely yes. I look at it. I don't see a hierarchy of forwards. I see a really nice diversity of forwards who can do different things. Brennan's pace, Sam's finishing, Keenan as a sort of a powerful guy to occupy defenders, and Taiwo doing sort of a little bit of everything, really. I would definitely have Keenan back. Some of the comments have been absolutely bang on about, if you didn't know that Keenan Davis was an Aston Villa player and you were watching the celebrations at Wembley, boy, did he love being in a red shirt. Yeah. He was right in there, Keenan, and I loved his attitude. Keenan was injured at Wembley. He was injured against Sheffield United in the semi-final. In the semi-final, I think he grabbed the initiative, helped to grab us the initiative back from Sheffield United in extra time. We were on the bones of our backsides at the end of 90 minutes, but Keenan helped us to get back into the game. And at Wembley, while it wasn't one of Keenan's best days, he was the guy who got the ball in the corner, laid it back for Jimmy to put the ball in for Brian, to force Levi Colwell to put the ball in it. Now, I think if I was to ring Keenan Davis up tonight and say, tell you what, come back, do you fancy coming back to Forest then, Keenan? Keenan say, I'd love to, Dave. And actually, I get a little bit, I've been a little bit disappointed in that it seems to me that when players have said they want to play for Steve Cooper, and I'm thinking of Keenan Davis, and I'm thinking of Morgan Gibbs-White, it's almost been like Wolves and Villa have been a bit spiteful and said, maybe if the lads hadn't said they wanted to play for Steve Cooper, the price tags on them would have come down. But it's almost like Wolves and Villa are sort of taunting Forest almost. What I would say in terms of the amounts of money that are involved, I think what we're all going through as supporters and players and people associated with this club is we ourselves are in a completely new environment. We're in an environment we've never been in, well, not been in for 23 years, and an environment that's changed enormously. And so, because we're sort of championship experience of 20 odd years, when we hear the figure 30 million, we're like, oh, crikey, that's a lot of money. But you know what? Or 15 million in Keenan's case, but maybe we have to kind of speculate to accumulate. I mean, the thing is, we've got 6 in. Obviously, Dean's alone, but the other 5, if you like, they're all gambles as well. Where I do have confidence in Forest that I've not had for a long, long time, is I think there's a real intelligence and a pragmatism and a rationality about the way we're going about our strategy to bring players in. You think 3 or 4 years back we were getting like half of Portugal in, half of Spain in.
Yeah.
We were then hoping that one of these guys out of the 20 or 30 might actually be decent. Now I think we are. I mean, I said to somebody this week, it's almost like we're following the Moneyball model of acquisition. So I think that on going back to Gibbs-white, I'm like Claire. I flip flop. 1 minute I think, yeah, get him in. The next, it's a lot of money. But you know what? Actually, I'm just glad it's not my decision to make. It's Dane's and it's Steve's and it's the rest of the people's. You know, so.
Dave, you got a few fans because when Dave comes in, Dave talks lots of sense. This is why I got Dave on the show. This Dave talks lots of sense. He does talk lots of sense. This is what Jamie shouts. Dave is always fluent in the language of facts. What Joe, like, this is why people just love to Dave as well. Just love to everyone else, man. But yeah, Claire, I've not told you. Like I said, bringing Davis, like I said, if we bring Davis in, like I said, we've got Jono, we've got Awali, we've got Sturridge, we've got Silva, we've got Taylor, but I don't know. What's your opinion? Do you need Davis?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. What there could be a game that Davis plays that suits him, and then there could be another game that suits Sturridge more. So I don't think Sturridge will necessarily go down to third choice. I think he's just going to rotate and play what he thinks best at the time, depending who we're playing. He wants to play for Forest, which is a bonus. So if you get somebody in who wants to play for us and wants to play for Cooper and wants to play for the shirt, then you're on a win, aren't you? Again, it comes down to money. What's he worth? Probably wouldn't pay what 8 million tops, maybe. But no, definitely, I'd definitely get him in if I could.
100%. People in the comments, like I said, get comments in. Like I said, we've done 42 minutes. It's been fantastic so far. There's 211 people. Thank you very much for everyone that took part for this. I appreciate everyone who does that. But if you've not subscribed to the channel, I am 60 away from 8.3. And if you can, please do hit the subscribe button. Like as well, if you can, please. Right, another subject. And again, this will be towards Claire and Dave. And I think Adam, we'll talk Adam as well. Baconi, I like him. Good right back. But we've got Nico Williams as well that can play there. It's a good problem to have.
It is.
A really good problem to have. And
it is lovely.
It's so, like, it's weird. When we brought this guy in, I thought, who's this guy? I thought, he's another player that can be a backup. I know it's only pre-season, but me personally, the first off as well, it reminded me of, I don't know if the older people will know this, it reminded me of Matthew Lewis-John. I know Matty Cash used to bomb, but it reminded me of my Matthew Lewis-John, was consistent run. Let me start with you, Claire. People in the comments as well. I know we've not seen Nico Williams yet. I'm just saying hypothetically. Claire, who would you want? Nico Williams or Baconi as a right back? I know we've not seen Nico Williams play.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. What I saw of him yesterday, I liked. I think he's going to be a fan favourite. He's going to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's going to fight for everything. I think he's definitely going to get the fans on side. Then the flip side to that, Nico Williams Johnson, they've already got that little connection going through Wales. That's Steve Cooper's job. I have no idea. No idea.
It's weird, but it's a good problem to have.
It's an amazing problem to be in, but I really couldn't call it. I liked the look of it yesterday.
And I saw the comments. He can play in a back three as well, but the way he bombs down that right wing, I like him. But we've got Nico Williams. He cost 16.5 million for Liverpool, so we're not going to put a 16.5 million on bench, are we? So, what about you, Dave? I'm looking for comments. I'm going to go through Dave. Ask Dave first before I go through comments. Dave, what do you think? It's a good problem, isn't it, Dave? A really good problem.
I think, isn't it a wonderful Premier League problem to have that we never had in the Championship?
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world, Forest supporters. We are in the big league. We're talking about 2 Wales internationals playing down our right-hand side. It pains me to say it because I think Julian Biancone, he's kind of really captured my imagination. The 2 games, he's got. I described him as buccaneering. He's just got a look about him, and I think Claire's dead right. He's going to be a fan favourite. I watched them when they came back out onto the bus last night at the Pirelli Stadium, and Julian, he was for photos. He smiled. He was happy. He looked like he's really happy to be in a Forest shirt. He gave time to everybody. He looked like he'd been with the club a long time, and I think he's going to become a bit of a cult hero. But I do think Nico starts. I think Nico and Brennan. I don't know. These 2 look like they go to McDonald's together. They go skateboarding together. They do things as
Nando's
mates.
together. I know they go Nando's together.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I think, and you know, I said last week to you, Ben, that so much of what Mitrovic achieved for Fulham last year was predicated on the service that, you know, not only Harry Wilson but Nico gave him. And I think when we go to Newcastle, Nico starts. But that is really harsh on Julian Biancone, because I love the 2 things I loved last night was when he lost the ball.
Yeah.
And he chased back like his life depended on it. And I think, and we were all in that away section last night. And sorry, Adam, you were with us in spirit, mate. But there was a feeling like that every time Biancone got the ball, there was a lot of excitement, and people like nodding and going, "Yeah, this guy's got a bit about him." And I think he's and the versatility is there. So if, say, Nico had a problem, Julian fits in as a right back or a right wing back. But I also think he's a good backup for, say, if it's going to be Joe playing on the right hand side of the back 3. I think, say, if Joe were to be injured, Biancone could fit in there and do a decent job. So again, it's this idea that Forest are looking at the bigger picture of individuals and how individuals fit into a structure. And it gives me confidence, you know.
100%. Like I said, when I watched him yesterday, and I know Des went to watch him when Forest played Coventry in Spain, and Des said he really enjoyed him. And I thought, you know, let me go watch this guy. The first 5 minutes, I loved him.
Yeah.
And I know.
I said to my son straight away.
And his hair never went out of place. Unbelievable.
He looks absolutely sharp. Let's be honest. It's just never going to move anywhere, is it?
It must be, Adam, if you're saying that, mate.
Exactly.
I think I like him, but it's a good problem to have. It's a really good problem to have. Like I said, Nico Williams, I think, me personally, Nico Williams will start right wing back.
You'll be interested on Saturday if Williams starts then, to see Williams and John together.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
100%. Where is it? Where is it? Get Dave on his own show. Dave, you get your own show. I've been
watch Ben.
get his own show. People are coming. What do you think? Like I said, and even we never met. Like I mentioned, as people don't know, if no one's aware, Panzo has left Nottingham Forest as well. Jonathan Panzo, he's gone to Coventry on loan. People are commenting. Do you feel sorry for Panzo? Never got a chance, to be fair. Like he played 1 game against Hull last game of the season, and I personally think he did well. But he's getting game time the whole season, and it might help him. So, I'm going to ask you about Panzer. Do you think it's good? It's a good loan move for him?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think with Coventry, I'll just go back to what Des said a few days ago. Coventry were a good side last season. They played really well. They just lost self-esteem, and that was all it was. They just ran out of steam, and he'll fit the bill. Because I think I'm looking at that Coventry defence, and they need a bit of strength at the back. So Jonathan Panzo can give that to him 100%. So I think that's a very good loan move for Jonathan Panzo, and it'll give him some game time, and he needs some game time, and he can only get better going forward from there. And I think as long as injuries don't get in his way, and I think he could be in for a really good season. And I think next season, whether if we stay up, which 9 times out of 10 we're going to, of course, but and if we don't, then I think he's definitely got someone to look at right there, really. So yeah, absolutely, it's a great move for him, and it's not too far for him to travel either. So he'll have a good season with Coventry, and I think the Coventry fans, if any Coventry fans are watching right now, I think you're being for a right treat with him, honestly.
100%. I'm making sure on Sweet Panzer. Like I said, I think he needs game time, and I think he will. Like I said, he's not going to play in that three. Like I said, we've got McKenna, we've got Nakate. Nakate for me. I liked him. I like Nakate. Dave, Nakate, good player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a nice. He's kind of Panzo's problem is that as a left-sided centre back in a back three, which is I guess is going to be our preferred approach. He's got Granit Xhaka, my man Scott McKenna, and he's got Moussa Niakate, and so Jonathan, I echoing what Adam has said, I think Coventry is an excellent loan move both for Jonathan and for Forest. I think Mark Robbins is a terrific manager. Coventry play good football. They beat us first day last season. I thought they were certainly a bit unlucky when we beat them 2-0 back at our place. So I think for Jonathan Panzo, it's a really good move. And I think it's a good move for Forest. And Steve, it's not like Steve is going to say, well, Jonathan Panzo is going to Coventry and that's that. I think he'll still be an active resource as far as Steve's concerned. I mean, in the old days, if you were sent to Coventry, it means they were getting rid of you, but not anymore. But in terms of Moussa Niakate, I think he's another one, a bit like Taiwo, in a new country, in a new environment. It's going to take him a bit of time. It was noticeable last night, or I noticed it, but after about 10 or 15 minutes, Steve Cooper got quite agitated. I don't know if anybody saw it. There was some shrugging of the shoulders and some waving of the arms, not like Steve. So I think Steve wasn't very happy with the way we were playing out the back, and he wants us to play with pace and tempo out of the back, which I think was our springboard for so many good wins last year. And I think one of the people he was getting at, if he was getting at anybody, was Moussa Niakate. Let's get the ball up the field quicker. And I thought, after a sort of a slightly stodgy start, I thought Moussa Niakate played all right, but I think he's going to be a good player. I think, like we talked about Biancone being a sort of a guy who grabs your eye because of this kind of aura he's got of a character. I think Moussa Niakate is going to be more sort of, he might be one of those guys who goes under the radar a bit like McKenna did for long stages of last season. So I think he's a good guy. I mean, a lot of our lads are not bringing great baggage with them in that they're bringing this reputation that they have to live up to.
Yeah,
a massive name, so they can almost forge their own identity with Nottingham Forest if they're good enough, and that's what they have to prove. So,
100%. There's one thing that we mentioned Panzo as well. I think I spoke to a Reading fan as well. And this is from Mark. All players' door was picking up in pre-transfer discussion. Forner, Panzo, have all been earned out to loan. I'm a massive fan of Forner, and let me ask you, Adam, about Forner. Do you think, as well, going to a championship club? Because I know he's been on to League 2, League 1, but playing the championship is going to help him, isn't it? If he does come back to the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've got to look at it like this: like when we, when was in the championship, I think you need players to progress, like young players like Forner, and it's good that they can progress from the bottom. I call League to the bottom, all the English leagues anyway. But for me, to progress from there, then he moved on to Plymouth Argyle, which he had a really good loan spell there as well. To be fair, despite them like kind of bottoming it a little bit towards the end, but he had a really good loan spell there. And for him to step up now in the Championship with Reading, with a side who were desperate to get someone like him in that position, it's another good move. Like Panzo at Coventry, it's a really good loan move, and he'll do. I think he'll do really well there. There's going to be some games where they'll probably be not going to be at their best, and he's going to shine. And it could be one of those nitty gritty games that they're going to play. I don't know, against Luton, for example, and he could absolutely shine. So he's got. I think he's got that in him. I've watched him a couple of times, and I honestly think he's another one's got points to prove, like Panzo has at Coventry, 100%.
100%. There's 208 people in. If you can hit the subscribe button as well, Pete. If you can, I'm on 8,240. What the hell? What did you just do? Oh, he's Apple. He's hungry. He's always hungry.
On the apple of my own eye, Ben.
Not an Adam's apple.
Yeah. Right. So people, if you don't know people, there's 211 people. We've done 55 minutes here. Thank you, like I said, for taking the time to watch us. If no one knows I am, Mr. Door. I do vlogs, preview shows, review shows. I have a panel next to me. There's Claire. Below me is Adam, and the man himself, Dave. And as well, if you've just come, it's Claire's birthday tomorrow. She's 21 years old, but her mum did say she's 40 years old. Is that true?
Yeah, thanks, Mum.
Yeah, so Claire, I saw the comment.
I'm keeping that one on the down low. It's like,
so people in the comments, if you can, say happy birthday to Claire if you can. Right, right. Before we do go, and this is a bit of a touchy subject. As you know, the away membership, the home membership, blah came up, and me personally, I'm giving out my honest opinion. They've done the 400, and I'm lucky enough to get in that, and I went to every game. So the people who went to every game should have a choice, but to make it for 400, there's quite a lot of Forest fans who went to like 15 or 16 games or 17 games. They should have made at least 1,000. But that's my opinion. I know social media, especially Twitter, it's been mad. So people like me and Dave, Claire, did you go to all the games last season?
Yeah, I'm in the 400, lucky enough.
So Claire's in for 400 as well. Let me ask you, Claire, and I'll get Adam's opinion on it. Like people in the comments, and if you, I don't want to be like feel like I'd be like me, Dave, and Claire. We win the 400 club. But what's your opinion about it, Claire?
I think Forest have got it wrong completely. I think they should reward the people who went to most of the games. So with the 400 club, yes, I think they should be that. I think maybe they should have kept the priority points. So then the people, I think it was up to 18 games, wasn't it? Because then again, it's not fair on the people who got 17, 16. I don't think it's fair how they've opened it up to 5,000 away memberships when most grounds only hold 3,000 either. I think they got it completely wrong. I'm just lucky that I'm in, like you said, like the 400. So we're not going to have that fight. But if I had to have that fight going to all the games I went to last season, I wouldn't be very happy.
The thing what annoyed me, I'll get David to is like the scrapped the points. Like at level now, I'm on 64 points. 64 points I'm on, and just scrap all that.
Yeah, gone. I was on 59 and it's gone.
Yeah, it's completely gone. Dave, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I think, Ben, it's a minefield of a subject that you have to tiptoe through, and you have to be very respectful to so many diverse opinions. I do think that the club have made some errors. My own personal strongest view is that the loyalty points that people have built up with their commitment, and often affecting families and weekends and things like that to go to matches, I think for those points to be just casually cast aside is not great. And I think I can understand there are a hell of a lot of people I know who went to a hell of a lot of games, and they're wonderful people. Nottingham Forest are blessed with fantastic supporters. I'm honoured and privileged to know so many of them. And for them to
that's how we met, isn't it, Dave? That's how me and Dave met. And the first time, it was funny. The first time I met Dave, he was on my bus, and we didn't talk. And there's a Bristol City away, wasn't it? You sat at the front, I sat at the back, and everyone was jolly. But then after that, this is how I know Dave from.
On that subject, Ben, what I remember that night is you visiting the toilet on the coach and everybody singing your name. So I don't know what was going on because you were at the back of the bus. But coming back to the subject, Ben, my heart goes out to all of the people who've been scrambling to sort of show their love for this club. And I think that, I also feel a bit for the club because this is a new territory. Yeah. And the man was always going to be huge. And my feeling is that if I'm running the Forest ticket office, or I'm running it, it's almost like they're putting their hands on their head and saying, well, we're not going to get a please all solution. And I just find it, I've tried to stay away from the subject because I don't want to put my foot in it, which I have a tendency. Sometimes I only open my mouth to change my feet. So my heart goes out to everybody who has either not got a membership or whatever. And I'm in the 400, but I'm certainly not gloating. I will never do that to anybody, So
David, look, right, let me stop there. Dave, I don't think it's right. Let's clarify this. Dave's not gloating. I'm not gloating, or Claire's not gloating, because, like I said, we went to. Well, I'll get Adam's opinion in a minute about it. We're not. I don't think. Like I said, you see on people's social media saying, I think it was especially the home membership. 5,000 people paid whatever money to get the home membership. They're not going to get it. I don't think they will get it.
No. Ben. Bottom line is, somebody said it today. To quote the guy in Jaws, we need a bigger ground.
Yeah.
And when, unfortunately, you cannot build a new stadium and have a 3-sided stadium in your first season in the Premier League. So we need some pieces to fall in place, but we do need a bigger ground because we need to get all of these incredible people who follow our club in together to make it even harder for us to be beaten at home. So I just think I've found it really. My heart goes out to everybody. I'm trying to kind of feel for everybody. It's difficult, but
like I said, there's quite a few people that I'm close to. Like I said, I went to 17 games, 16 games, and they were in the second bit. And I thought to myself, I don't want to gloat, but at the same time, I didn't miss a away game. I went to every single game, and it's what it is. Before I get Adam, we got a special message for you, Claire. Where is it? Where's that message gone? From the man himself, David Johnson. Happy birthday, Claire. Jono, go away.
Better happy birthday than that, do you?
Go away, John. I should have blocked this guy. He's trying to.
So David knows my birthday's in March. All right.
We don't care about your birthday. We don't care about it. Shout out to Jono. Shout out to Jono. I said, right. Adam, what's your opinion? Did you get away membership?
Unfortunately, I just missed out because I've been at work today as well, and I just couldn't for my life just get out just for a few minutes and just get one. So I am gutted, but at least I'm going down next season. I've got myself the season card already renewed, so at least I've got some consolation there. So I'll be still seeing the big teams down here, and but yeah, I'm the same as Dave. My heart goes out to all the rest, including us, who's in the same shoes as me that have not managed to get one. I didn't agree with this gold, silver, and bronze thing. The loyalty points should have stayed in place. They should have done like categories. Who's been to 60, 70 matches? That you know what I mean. It's not the Olympics at the end of the day. So I just didn't agree with that bronze, silver, and gold thing. To be honest with you, but I just want to say, Jono, shout out to you because you was one of my icons watching when I was younger, and I was on my 11th birthday. I had a picture with you. I sent it to you before on Instagram. You'll know if I send you again. I used to have a bit of a skinhead going on, but
Adam, what was it? Was it a skinhead? Because in what was it? Paul Hart season, he had about 10 hairstyles. Jono did. So.
Oh no, it was me. I had the number one all over.
No, what did Jono have? What did Jono have?
Oh, it was like.
He had about 10 hairstyles.
It was a bit similar. It was a bit similar to Spencer's, a little bit, if I remember.
Okay.
That hairstyle, just to be honest, it was something similar anyway. That's all I can say. But shout out to Jono. Love you, mate.
Yeah, right. There's I think we'll see one more topic. There's 197 people. Always Claire gone. I better Insect has gone off. There's 197 people here. And if you can, please hit the like button. If you can, please subscribe. If you're new, like I said, I'm 60 away from 8.3. It's a big season ahead, everyone. A massive season. I'm excited. I know Dave's excited. Adam's excited. Claire should be back in a minute as well. You know what? Right. There was one topic. It came from Dominic. We talk about the stadium and people in the comments. Me personally, like Dominic says, stay at the sit ground or move to a new stadium. I'll say it's simple. stay at the City Ground. That's me. That's my opinion. Short, make it short and sweet, Dave. New stadium.
Stay by the river.
Simple as that. Adam?
Stay by the river. That's where the heart is.
100%.
Absolutely, Adam.
100%. Even the man himself, John, agrees. I'm with Dave. We need a bigger stadium. The longer Forest stay in the Premier League. The fan base, we're going to get bigger. Hi, Adam.
Hey. Get in, Jono.
I'm love this guy. I'm just going to go through the comments as well. Lloyd says City Ground. Everyone says City Ground. I don't want to sit. Like we need to get the main stand done. Simple as that. And hopefully, if we do stay in the Premier League, that we can knock down the main stand.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got now in the Premier League. Like it's funny, right? I went to City Ground and I saw some tourists, some Asian, Chinese, the lot, and it's good to see. It's so good to see these kind of fans coming to City Ground because we're back in the Premier League. So yeah, it's amazing. I don't know where Claire's gone. She's not messaged me, but
do you know what it is, Ben? Ben, do you know what it is? It's global reach, and the work that's been done on the City Ground at the moment, and why we're playing it. You know why Burton Albion have been so good to let us have their ground, and why Notts County helping, is that Steve Cooper made the point. I think after we'd gone up, that where previously I think it was Paul Taylor, Sarah Clapson, and Colin Frey, it's now going to be a bigger clientele for these pre-match and post-matches. I mean, I'm thinking in particular when Tottenham come on the 28th, how many South Korean journalists are going to be there just for Heung-min Son, for example?
exactly.
You know, Forest have gone from being, if you like, UK to being seen on a global stage. So it's mind-boggling, really.
So I was it. Look, I get it, but I mentioned history. We've got big history, and now in the Premier League, like I said, we're gonna all the top people are gonna come to City Ground. Like I can mention, I'm gonna throw some free shots out, like some Man City that have not won the Champions League. They spent so much money. Spurs are not won the Champions League. Arsenal have not won the Champions League. I think it can carry on. These are not big clubs to me. You like Aston Villa for me. Aston Villa got a better history than them clubs. Well, that's my opinion. If you disagree, get in the comments. Right. Before we do go, I think I've told Dave, and I don't know if I've told Claire, but I've not told Adam yet. People, if you are new to the channel, I always say before the end of the show, we've brought in 6 players. Where do you think we'll finish in the league? I've changed. I keep after you say points. I know it's just a friendly game. But where do you think Forest will finish? Dave, have you changed yours?
No, I said, excuse me, I've got a bit of apple in my teeth. Forgive me.
It's all right.
I've said, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, 14th. And I've not seen anything to change my mind. And I still think we'll be all right because of our manager.
Claire, did you change yours?
No, I said 16th, and I'm sticking with that.
So Claire sticking
16th.
to it. Last but not least, Adam, have you given your prediction in? What was yours?
I think I did when Ellie was on your show when I called in. But I'll say it to the viewers who have not heard me say it yet. So I think if we obviously for now I would say 13th, but I think if we get a few more additions and if we are in a good position by Christmas, round about mid-table, I think we can finish 9th.
Does that mean we're playing that other European Cup?
UEFA Conference League.
Yeah, where do you have to finish to win? Is it 8th?
Yeah, I think we would just miss out if we finish 9th.
Listen to me. I'll take
Brighton finished 9th. They're not in Europe, so.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'll take that. I'll take that. Don't talk mad. That'd be mad. But yeah, thank you, Dave, Adam, and Claire. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
People comment, and I'm gonna ramble on, but like I said, it's been another great show. I'm in London tomorrow, so there'll be no stream tomorrow. Or should I do a stream from London from a hotel? I might do that. I think I might do that. I might do another question in it. So yeah, but I will do a live stream tomorrow from a hotel. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Yes, right, people. I think Dave knows, but do you know Dave? Don't just nod your head while I'm going to London.
Actually, Ben, I haven't got a clue, mate.
Good.
Really.
That's all that matters. Dave doesn't know. Dave doesn't know.
Ben, you swore me to secrecy, but then my Alzheimer's meant that I forgot anyway.
Good. Right. So tomorrow, I will do a live stream and I will announce what I'm doing. People in the comments, if you know where I'm going, I will block you. Don't bother doing it. Right. I'm going through the comments. The comments before I do go. Shout out to Lee. It's been the Premier League again. Opened eyes for a lot of foreign fans regarding the European success. 100% Lee. 100%. I think, like I said, bringing, like I said, we've got the history, and now bringing all these fans from, like I said, I saw some Asian fans at the particular ground, not like another day. Mad. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it.
I think I've got to say this, Ben. I'm not saying because of Dane Murphy, but also with the likes of Christian Pulisic at Chelsea. I think we could bring a lot of American tourists in as well.
Yeah, great point, Adam.
100%. Right, I'm going to get going, people. I think I will do a live show tomorrow from London, from my hotel. I'm excited. I can't wait. But like I said, I will announce what I'm doing. So if you can, please, I'll do it about 9 o'clock. I'll do it at 9 o'clock. Question and answer show. And yeah, please, if you do want to watch it, make sure you do hit the subscribe button. If you're pre-watching this, please comment below of all the topics that we've mentioned as well. Right, Dave, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Claire, and thank you, Adam, as well.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a great show, people. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button as well. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock, live from London, and question and answer, and I'll announce what I'm doing tomorrow. Peace and love, people. Up the Reds.
Up the Forest.